Hi guys, it's Jamie, and when I was doing my video last week regarding the lantern tops, I just got an idea for trying something out. And since it's, I was about to say since it's holiday coming up, but it's Halloween, you could maybe make some, and fall, you can make some decorations that are kind of lantern-esque, but in the shape of pumpkins. So to do that, let me just show you what I came up with. So I'm just going to start off with a 1/4 inch of clay here in squares of size of pumpkins that I want. I've already rolled a 1/2 inch slab and just cut out with a cutter some circles. So I'll use that in my creation here. So what I'm going to do next is just draw a pumpkin on here. So I'm just going to use my finger and kind of, you know, draw what I think a pumpkin shape is going to be. What you could also do is buy one from the store. So I saw these yesterday and I thought, oh, why not use them? And I like the idea of using just your finger and doing the size, because it's almost like, you know, every pumpkin is organic, so you get a different little bit shape every time. But if you're not confident in your ability to do a pumpkin, you know, why not do a cutter? So I'm not cutting it out, I'm just using the cutter to give me the shape. And then I'm going on the outside of where the line is and just tracing it. And I'm not going to trace the stump, I'm going to go past that. Alright, so once you have your pumpkin outlined, now you're going to do your inside shape. I'm going to do the main piece that comes down in front, and then I'm going to bisect the remaining sides like that. Now I'm going to take a rubber tip tool and go back over my finger marks. Alright, they a little bit different for each, that's fine. My next step requires a little bit of foam. Now when you're looking at this, you should be able to see the lines, and I don't see the lines, so I'm going to, and maybe this is what I should do in the future, is when I do these lines, is just do them on the foam. Look at that. Now you can really see it. All right, now once you can see those raised edges, now you can give volume to the other side. So I'm just going to poke down in between those ridges. Now I know my clay body, and I know I can start working with it right away. If you have a different type, you might just have to let it set up like this before you go to the next step. See how it's all puffed out now? Now for the stem treatment. Fake bow tie. So I'm going to create a flat bottom, and I'm going to come up and kind of come in. So I like to, this is actually a little bit too big. I went way too far, so let's do it again. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to cut these out, attach the stems, and then let them go set up for a bit. Do not worry about all that's going on right now. The main priority is to let these firm up, and then you're going to be cleaning up the outside once you've start putting the face on. So I'm just pushing out a little bit from the other side. And you can do that too once, you know, you've done this. You could just bring it up and add volume with your hands. You can also maybe give it a little bit of a curve. That's kind of a nice addition. So we'll see if that can stay how that is when I set up. No. I'll maybe set something up underneath there. Ah! I can't believe I did that. I just thought these were scraps. Okay, save. When I attach it, I like to attach it at the stage because the clay is still wet, and then I can really kind of mush it on there. And the other thing too is the reason why I'm doing the fold over like this is that it gives me a place here in case I want to hang this, rather than just have it be a little lantern. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out in the end with my little piece on the back, how that will hang. But for right now, that's what I'm doing. You don't have to do that. You could just have one side on it. And once again, this looks really rough. It's going to be cleaned up in the next section. Yeah, I do like that. I didn't do my other ones like this, but we'll just see how those come out. Yeah, these are my ones from earlier, and they're now set up at a good spot. And what I'm going to do before I put a face on is clean up this one. Now I'm just going to go over with some wet fingers the creases here and smooth everything out. And now is an opportunity to maybe add some lines into the stem. These are both ready for faces, and I'm just going to do a basic face on these. You could spend a lot of time coming up with different looks, but I'm just going to do the standard jack-o'-lantern. Now for cutting these, I like to use a blade, so instead of a needle tool. So I'm going to go find a blade here. So when I get to the part where I'm doing the mouth, I like to do the teeth first. They're the most dangerous ones because they're so fragile. So I'm just going to start carving around the teeth. Finally. And what I'm going to do is now just take a skewer and smooth out this bottom part and all around the other openings. Okay, at the back here, this looks like a big old mess. So this is the point where you're going to maybe take another tool, and I like taking a loop tool, if I can find one quickly, and just using that to go along. The clay is still soft enough where I can just mush it down, and the rest you might just have to wait till it's bone dry and then use a scrubby pad to get to it. But all that work back there has raised some of the openings here. I'm just going to go ahead back with my skewer. The next step is to add a bottom to it. So I'm going to do this, and I've already cut off a little bit of the circle. So this is where the votive would go. So I'm thinking like that. Probably a little bit more. So this by itself is not enough. You have to reinforce it. So now I'm going to take some fresh clay and just add to the back a coil, and then also underneath a coil. I like how this indentation, how this comes up here, so I'm trying to keep that in play. Also trying to keep this more at a 90-degree angle. So if you were doing this and you saw that your face was collapsing, it means that you're doing it too soon. You need to wait for this to dry up a bit. But once that has happened, and your face is still, you're fine. If you did find that your face was moving a little bit, you could dry it upside down or like this. And then I would probably just take little wads of clay to help, elevate it in certain places. So that's what you can do for setup. This seems to be fine standing up on its own right now. So there is a little bit more cleaning that can happen. I'm going to wait till the connection is a little bit more secure and maybe go back over with a finer brush. But that's the project right there. All right, considerations for glazing. What I'm going to do is just use an iron stain on this whole portion of the piece, and then the front will have either like a chino, or we have a wonderful pumpkin color glaze that I'll use. And I'll probably do something where I'll create another like cookie or disc that it sits on, so that this part is elevated and I can get the color all the way down. I hope to have finished examples of this on my Facebook page and also on my Instagram page, Jamie7. So tune in there to see the finished results of these pieces. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.